Sloka.
Don't waste time.
The Vaishnava philosophy, an outsider, we are not interested in karma conductivity. Sometimes, not knowing the Vaishnava philosophy, an outsider criticizes such activity, maintaining that a sannyasi should not take part in a marriage between a girl and a young boy and a young girl. However, this is not karma conductivity because our purpose is to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. We are giving all facility to the general populace to take to Krishna consciousness. And in order to fix the devotees in concentration on the service of the Lord, marriage is sometimes allowed. We have experienced that such married couples actually render very important service to the mission. Therefore, one should not misunderstand when a sannyasi takes part in a marriage ceremony. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu took great pleasure in hearing about the marriage ceremony between the young Brahmin and the daughter of the elderly Brahmin. The older Brahmin replied, "My dear boy, do not doubt me. I will give you my daughter in charity. I have already decided this." The young Brahmana said, "You have a wife and sons, and you have a large circle of relatives and friends. Without the consent of all your friends and relatives, it is not possible to give me your daughter in charity. Just consider the story of Queen Rukmini and her father, Bhishmak. King Bhishmak wanted his daughter Rukmini, wanted to give his daughter Rukmini in charity to Krishna. But Rukmini, his eldest son, objected. Therefore, he could not carry out his decision.
Oldest son, name? Rukmi.
As stated in the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bandhunami chatam datum Krishnaya bhaginim nipa tato nivarya Krishna Rukmi chaityam amanyata. King Bhishmak of Vidarbha wanted to offer Krishna his daughter, Rukmi. But Rukmi, the eldest of his 5 sons, objected. Therefore Bhishmak withdrew his decision and decided to offer Rukmini to the king of Chedi, Shishupal, who was a cousin of Krishna's. However, Rukmini conceived of a trick. She sent a letter to Krishna asking him to kidnap her. Thus, in order to please Rukmini, who was his great devotee, Krishna kidnapped her. There ensued a great fight between Krishna and the opposing party, headed by Rukmini's brother Rukmi. Rukmi was defeated and because of his harsh words against Krishna was about to be killed. But he was saved at the request of Rukmini. However, Krishna shaved off all of Rukmini's hair with his sword. Sri Balaram did not like this, and so to please Rukmini, Balaram rebuked Krishna. The elderly Brahmin said, "My daughter is my own property. If I choose to give my property to someone, who has the power to stop me?"
Kannadan is called.
"My dear boy, I will give my daughter to you in charity, and I will neglect the possession of all others. Don't doubt me in this regard. Just accept my proposal." The younger Brahman replied, "If you have decided to give your young daughter to me, then say so."
In front of the deity.
Before the Gopal deity.
Still now India this tradition. In village there is some dispute. They ask, okay, you tell your case You tell in front of the deity, they won't tell lie. This is Indian nature. Though in the court he can touch the Bible and Gita, I am telling the truth, only the truth, and truth only, and something like that. No? But in the temple they are scared. Now people may be changing, watching TV, all these things, telling light, light. But usually in India, everywhere, village like that. Yes, Punjab, Bengal, everywhere village like that. People are scared in front of it. Even in front of going to other outside country, I see like confession. To the Guruji, I am doing this, please. Okay, next time don't do. Again, after a week again, I do this. Prabhupada mentioned that. So, I saw in the temple people, he look here and there, some guy. Then, he is doing like this, is here in front of deity, and this like that, so many things doing as if, sometimes in front of father, mother, or school, sometimes student has to do the same thing doing. You see, look here and there, nobody watching. When you feel shy, they will ask, why are you doing this? Then he is telling to the deity. Understand? The India it is common. Still maybe interior village. There is a Gram Panchayat, there is moral head, he decides, settles. They don't go to court, it costs so much money, they can't afford.
They begin with panchayat.
Yeah, they first start with the panchayat, sarpanch. They call sarpanch, and in other state, and in Bengal called panchayat. There is election, they are fighting party. Still there. Okay.
Coming before Gopal, the elderly Brahmin said, "My dear Lord, please witness that I have given my daughter to this boy." Purport. In India, it is still
I see it as good.
in India, it is still the custom for a daughter to be offered to someone simply by word. This is called Bhagdata. This means that the father...
Giving words, Bhagdan. In other country, exchanging.
Compromising.
Achha. Giving some earring. And here in India called Bhagdan. One day they get together and engagement, give words, yes. They give Ashirvad with Durba, grain, all these boys and girls. Still? Yes, South India. Here also. Huh? They call Roka. What does it mean, Roka?
Roka means now it is stabilized.
Keeping words, I am promising to give my no orders, you should marry. It's on the word. I think our Bengal is called Bakudan, promising. I am promising, I will give my daughter and Ashirvad to the girl.
Half marriage and half dowry will be given that day.
Really? Okay. They may promise I will give later. Then they have to listen when he goes. Your father did not give, he gave only 5 lakhs. What about 20 more lakhs? And she doesn't like. She takes her brother or somebody who, on behalf of her, tell, and brother goes away. This new system, Western system come, they select his own life partner. Mommy, what? I want to tell you something, because I have experience. Because they tell, Maharaj, I cannot tell everybody. Only husband and wife, we can talk, we cannot tell anybody, only to Guru or others. Because this is confidential. So God is saying like that, staying far away, whatever. And he is seeing one boy for a long time, classmate, he is saying, this is a good boy. Mommy, so you don't have to think about future. What do you mean? Tell in detail. What exactly you mean? He said, you are thinking must be of my future life. So, slowly introduction. And then I have to have some my life partner, you may be selecting. I have already selected this good boy. Just like some God say, Daddy, this boy is very nice. She cannot tell directly everything. Nowadays more, modern, they tell more, express themselves. They're taking permission of mother, father. But after that I am seeing, Maharaj come in my marriage ceremony, this I will make this, please you come. And I could make it. Oh, you didn't come. Okay, next day, someday do some function in your house, I'll come. Yeah, very happy. After 1 year, what happened? You are alone with your mom? Where is the boy? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any chair, give. Florence, chip. Temple president. He's going. It's okay. Nice. When did you come from? We are attending a leaders' meeting. ILS.
I'm leaving in a few hours.
Really?
They come to see you.
Oh, it's very nice. When I went to Florence, it was very nice. Stayed there 10 days, 7 days. Huh? How many days you stayed with Nilkamal? Oh, he's not here.
6 days.
Huh?
6 days.
6 days. Oh, very old house, make everything. Okay, read. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Gopal, from Spain, you know him. From another farm. Your mother in the farm, no? No, Malaga, your mother.
You know me now.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Your leadership meeting is going to be finished today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Going to Vrindavan. Staying for some time?
10 days. Some days.
Ah, okay. The Vrindavan also they do some festival. Something after this.
The boat festival.
And boat,
Famous boat festival.
famous boat festival. So many people. Nice. Okay. Go ahead.
In India, it is still the custom for the daughter to be offered to someone simply by word. This is called Vagdata. This means that the father, brother, or guardian of a girl has given his word that she will be married to a certain man. Consequently, the daughter cannot be married to anyone else.
Once.
She is reserved by virtue of the honest words of the father or guardian. There are many instances in which the parents of a female child have given someone a verbal promise that their daughter will be married to his son. Both parties agree to wait until the boy and girl are grown up, and then the marriage takes place. Following this custom, which is very old in India, the elderly Brahmin promised to give his daughters to the younger Brahmin in charity, and he promised this before the Gopal deity. In India, the custom is to honor any promise made before the deity. Such a promise cannot be cancelled. In Indian villages, whenever there is a quarrel between two parties, they go to a temple to settle the quarrel. Whatever is spoken in front of the deity is taken to be true, for no one would dare to lie before the deity. The same principle was followed in the battle of Kurukshetra. Therefore, in the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samvita Yutsava Mamaga Pandava King of the world. By not becoming God conscious, human society is deteriorating to the lowest standard of animal life. This Krishna consciousness movement is very essential to reviving God consciousness among the general populace. If people actually become God conscious, all quarrels can be settled outside of court, as happened in the case of the two Brahmanas, whose disagreement was settled by the witness Gopal. The younger Brahmanas addressed the deity saying, My dear Lord, you are my witness. I shall call you to testify, if it is necessary later on. After these talks of the two Brahmins started for home, as usual, The young Brahman accompanied the elder Brahman as if the older Brahman were a guru and rendered him service in various ways. After returning to Vidyanagar, each Brahmin went to his respective home. After some time, the elderly Brahmin became very anxious. He began to think, I have given my word to a Brahmin in a holy place, and I promised will certainly come to pass. I must now disclose this to my wife, sons, other relatives, and friends. Thus one day the elderly Brahmin called for a meeting of all his relatives and friends. And before all of them, he narrated what had taken place in front of Gopal. When those who belonged to the family circle heard the narration of the old Brahmin, they made exclamations showing their disappointment. They all requested that he not make such a proposal again. They unanimously agreed, if you offered your daughter to a degraded family, your aristocracy will be lost. When people hear of this, they will make jokes and laugh at you. The elderly Brahmin said, how can I undo the promise I made in front of a holy place in a holy pilgrimage? Whatever may happen, I must give him my daughter in charity. The relative unanimously said, if you give your daughter to that boy, we shall give up all connection with you. Indeed, his wife and sons declared, if such thing happens, you shall take poison.
Son, mother, conspiracy. See, son, listen to mother, mother, listen to son. Isn't it?
The elderly Brahmin said, if I do not give my daughter to the young Brahmin, he will call Sri Gopalji as a witness. Thus he will take my daughter by force, and in that case my religious principles will become meaningless. The son replied, the deity may be a witness, but he is far, he is in a distant country.
This guy is atheist, hardcore. Fool, he's thinking he's a fool, nutcase. What is talking?
But he's in a distant country, how can he come to be a witness against you? Why are you so anxious about this? You do not have to flatly deny that you spoke such a thing. There's no need to make a false statement. Simply say, you do not remember what you said.
Telling his father, what to do, manipulate.
If you simply say, I do not remember, I shall take care of the rest. By argument, I shall defeat the young Brahmin. Purport. The son of the elderly Brahmin was an atheist and a follower of the Raghunath Smriti.
Pashando. Pashand.
He was very expert in dealing with pound, shilling, pence.
Vishwayi.
But he was a fool number one.
How they will come that way is that way. This way closed, that way closed. This only may use. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, I don't know, most of them has already come. 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
The son of the elderly Brahmin was an atheist
Why did I?
and a follower of the Raghunath Smriti. He was very expert in dealing with pound, shilling, pence. But he was a fool number one. Consequently, he did not believe in the spiritual position of the deity. Nor did he have any faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as a typical idol worshipper, he considered the form of the Lord to be made of stone or wood. Thus he assured his father that the witness was only a stone deity, and was not capable of speaking.
There is one verse saying that who hasn't got much piety, he doesn't believe all this. What is that verse? Acche Shiladi
Guru Narumatir Vaishnavi Jati Buddhi
Naraki.
Naraki Buddhi.
There is another one, I think.
Naam Sanjay.
Brahmani Vaishnava. No, not this one, another one. Okay, never mind.
Anyways.
Pashandi is called. Pashandi means.
Narayan Devam is Brahma Indradi Devtai Samatvena Vikshepta Sa Pashandi Bhavedruva.
Another one. That's okay.
Anyways, it will come. He considered the form of the Lord to be made of stone and wood. Thus he assured his father that the witness was only a stone deity and was not capable of speaking.
The one group of religious in India is there. It's called Arya Samaj. They don't accept.
Those guys.
Okay.
Besides that, he assured his father that the deity was situated far away, consequently could not come to be a witness. In essence, he was saying, have no anxiety. You do not have to die directly, but you should speak like a diplomat, like King Yudhishthira. When he spoke to Dronacharya, Ashwatthama Hata iti gaja.
It is the elephant of Sattva. Sattva died. It's the elephant of Sattva. Yeah, slowly, softly. It's the elephant of Sattva. Krishna said to Yudhishthira, tell this. Yudhishthira first declined. Telling that, okay.
Following this principle, simply say that you do not remember anything and are completely unaware of the statements given by the young Brahmin. If you make that background like that, I shall know how to fill in the argument and defeat him by word jugglery. Thus, I shall save you from having to give your daughter to him. In this way, our aristocracy will be saved. You have nothing to worry about. When the elderly Brahmin heard this, his mind became very much agitated. Feeling helpless, he simply turned his attention to the lotus feet of Gopal. The elderly Brahmin prayed, "My dear Lord Gopal, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet, and therefore I request you to please protect my religious principles from disturbance, and at the same time, save my kinsmen from dying." The next day, the elderly Brahmin was thinking deeply about this matter when the young Brahmin came to his house. The young Brahmin came to him and offered him respectful obeisances, then very humbly folded his hands and spoke as follows. "You have promised to give your daughter in charity to me. Now you do not say anything. What is your conclusion?" After the young Brahmin submitted the statement, the elderly Brahmin remained silent.
Son came with stick.
Taking this opportunity, his son immediately came out with a stick.
Rascal, you want to marry a sister?
Came out with a stick to strike the younger man.
Poor guy.
The son said, "Oh, you're most degraded. You want to marry my sister just like a dwarf who wants to catch the moon." Seeing a stick in the hand of the son, the younger Brahmin fled. The next day, however, he gathered together all the people of the village.
Panchayat.
All the people of the village then called for the elderly Brahmin and brought him to the meeting place. The young Brahmin then began to speak before them as follows. This gentleman has promised to hand over his daughter to me, yet now he does not follow his promise. Please ask him about his behavior. All the people gathered and asked the elderly Brahmin, if you have already promised to give him your daughter in charity, why are you not fulfilling your promise? You have given your word of honor. The elderly Brahmin said, my dear friends, please hear what I have to submit. I do not exactly remember making a promise like that.
What the boy said.
When the elderly Brahmin's son heard this, he took the opportunity to juggle some words. Becoming very impudent, he stood before the assembly and spoke as follows. While touring various holy places of pilgrimage, my father carried much money. Seeing the money, the rogue decided to take it away. There was no one besides this man with my father, giving him an intoxicant known as Tutura.
LSD. Something like LSD.
This is heavy.
Yeah, this is heavy. Make eyes reddish. Poisonous.
This maybe some people don't come back.
Wow. Come back. But yeah.
Giving him an intoxicant known as Tutura. It's written
in
Tutura.
India famous.
To eat, this rogue made my father mad. Having taken all my father's money, this rogue claimed that it was taken by some thief. Now he's claiming that my father has promised to give him his daughter in charity.
It's a rogue.
All of you assembled here, gentlemen, please judge whether it is befitting to offer this poor Brahmin my father's daughter. Hearing all the statements, all the people gathered there became a little doubtful. They thought it quite possible, because the attraction for riches, one might give up his religious principles. At that time, the young Brahmin said, my dear gentlemen, please hear, just to gain victory in an argument, this man is lying. Being very satisfied with my service, this Brahmin said to me of his own accord, I promise to hand over my daughter to you. At that time I forbade him to do this, telling him, O best of the Brahmins, I am not fit husband for your daughter. Whereas you are a learned scholar, a rich man belonging to an aristocratic family, I am a poor man, uneducated and with no claim to aristocracy. Still, this Brahmin insisted.
Okay.
Again and again, he asked me to accept his proposal, saying, I have given you my daughter. Please accept her. I then said, please hear, you are a learned Brahmin, your wife, friends and relatives will never agree to this proposal. My dear sir, you will not be able to fulfill your promise. Your promise will be broken. Yet again and again, the Brahmin emphasized his promise. I have offered you my daughter, do not hesitate. She is my daughter and I shall give it to her to you. Who can forbid me? At that time, I concentrated my mind and requested the Brahmin to make the promise before the Gopal deity. Then this gentleman said, in front of the Gopal deity, my dear Lord, please bear witness. I have offered my daughter to this Brahmin in charity. Accepting the Gopal deity as my witness, I then submitted, following at his lotus feet. If this Brahmin later hesitates to give me his daughter, my dear Lord, I shall call you in as a witness. Please note this with care and attention. Thus I have called upon a great personality in this transaction. I have asked the Supreme Godhead to be my witness. The entire world accepts the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
What?
No, I'm just thinking the daughter has nothing to say about it.
Usually they don't say. Tell his grandmother, not father, mother, tell the grandmother or the brothers whom can open her heart. They feel shy. Tell the brother.
That man, he was very much in love with it. Otherwise, why if the whole family was against it, then he would.
Anyways, let's see what Prabhupada says.
Let us see what Prabhupada.
Purport. Although the young Brahmin described himself as having no claims to aristocracy and being an uneducated common man, still he had one good qualification. He believed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was the topmost authority. He accepted the words of Lord Krishna without hesitation, and he had firm faith in the Lord's consistency. According to Prahlad Maharaj, another authority on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a staunch and faithful devotee of the Lord must be understood to be the most learned scholar. Tanmanyit aditam uttamam. A pure devotee who has firm faith in the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be considered the most learned scholar, the topmost aristocrat, and the richest man in the whole world. All godly qualities automatically exist in such a devotee. Anybody can tell the sloka?
The sloka? Jasasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvajnai tattva samasate sura haravatasya mahatmana manorathena sthapito. Should know the meaning also. Huh? Simple. Never mind.
Anybody can tell the meaning?
Hindi, Bengali, English?
One who is a devotee of the Lord, he is decorated with all the divine qualities, but one who is a materialistic, he may have all the qualities, but he is only hovering on a mental platform.
Yes.
Good, very good. Very good answer.
Okay.
Exactly.
In the preaching work of the Krishna consciousness movement, we, as the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, fully believe in the words of Krishna and his own servants, the disciplic succession. In this way, we are presenting the words of Krishna throughout the world. Even though we are neither a rich man nor a very learned scholar, and even though we do not belong to any aristocracy, this movement is still being welcomed and is very easily spreading all over the world. Although we are very poor and have no professional source of income, Krishna supplies money whenever we need it. Whenever we need some men, Krishna supplies them. Thus it's stated in Bhagavad Gita, Jam labda chaparam labam manyate nagam tata. Actually, if we can attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, we need not anything else. We certainly do not need those things which a mundane person considers to be material assets. Taking this opportunity, the elderly Brahmin immediately confirmed that this was really true. He said, if Gopal personally comes here to serve as a witness, I shall surely give my daughter to the young Brahmin. Daughter. The elderly Brahmin's son immediately confirmed this, saying, this is a very nice statement. This is a very nice settlement. As a super soul within the heart of all living entities, Krishna knows everyone's desire, everyone's request, and everyone's prayer. Although all this may be contradictory, the Lord has to create a situation in which everyone will be pleased. This is an instance of a marriage negotiation between an elderly Brahmin and a youthful one. The elderly Brahmin was certainly willing to give his daughter in charity to the young Brahmin, but his sons and relatives became impediments to this transaction. The elderly Brahmin considered how to get out of this situation and still offered his daughter to the young Brahmin. His son, an atheist and a very cunning fellow, was thinking of how to stop the marriage. The father and son were thinking in a contradictory way, yet Krishna created a situation wherein they agreed. They both agreed that if the Gopal deity would come and serve as a witness, the daughter would be given to the young Brahmin. The elderly Brahmin thought, since the Lord is very merciful, he will certainly come to prove my statement. That the atheistic son thought, it is not possible for Gopal to come and bear witness. Thinking thus, the father and the son agreed. The young Brahmin took this opportunity to speak. Please write this down on a paper in black and white,
Sign.
so that you may not again change your word of honor. All the assembled people got the statement down in black and white, and taking the signatures of agreement from both of them, served as mediators. The young Brahmin then said, will you all gentlemen present, please hear me? This elderly Brahmin is certainly truthful in his following religious principles. He has no desire to break his promise, but fearing that his kinsman would commit suicide, he deviated from the truth. By the piety of the elderly Brahmin, I shall call the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a witness. Thus, I shall keep this truthful promise intact. Hearing the emphatic statement of the younger Brahmin, some atheists in the meeting began to cut jokes. However, someone else said, after all, the Lord is merciful, and if he likes, he can come. After the meeting, the young Brahmin started for Vrindavan. Upon arriving there, he first offered respectful obeisances to the deity and then narrated everything in full detail. He said, my Lord, you are the protector of Brahminical culture and you are also very merciful. Therefore, kindly show your great mercy by protecting the religious principles of us, two Brahmins. My dear Lord, I am not thinking to become happy by getting the daughter as a bride. I am simply thinking that the Brahmin has broken his promise, and that is giving me great pain. Purport. It was not at all the intention of the young Brahmin to get the daughter of an elderly Brahmin in marriage and thus enjoy material happiness and sense gratification. It was not for that reason that the young Brahmin went to Vrindavan to ask the Supreme Personality of Godhead to act as a witness. His only concern was that the elderly had promised something, and if Gopal did not bear witness to the transaction, then the older Brahmin would incur in spiritual blemish. Therefore, the young Brahmin wanted protection and help from the deity. The young Brahmin was thus a pure Vaishnava, and he had no desire for sense gratification. He wanted only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the older Brahmin was also a Vaishnava and very much devoted to the Lord. The young Brahmin continued, my dear sir, you are very merciful and you know everything. Therefore, kindly be a witness in this case. A person who knows things as they are and still does not bear witness becomes involved in sinful activities. Purport. The dealings between a devotee and the Lord are very simple. The young Brahmin said to the Lord, you know everything, but if you do not bear witness, you will be involved in sinful activities. There is no possibility, however, of the Lord's being involved in sinful activities. A pure devotee, even though he knows everything about it, were a common man. Although the dealings between the Lord and his devotees are always very simple and open.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody, see off. Haribol. Haribol, everybody Haribol. The President, Florence. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Happy journey. Okay. Very good. Seeing off. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. And go.
A pure devotee, even though he knows everything of the Supreme Lord, can speak with the Lord as if he were a common man. Although the dealings between the Lord and his devotee are always very simple and open, there is a formality.
Go ahead.
All these things happen because of the connection between the Lord and the devotee.
Gujjam akshati pichati adhati padiginati.
Lord Krishna replied, "My dear Brahmin, go back to your home and call a meeting of all the men. In that meeting, just try to remember me. I shall certainly appear there at that time, and I shall protect the honor of both of you Brahmins by bearing witness to that promise." The young Brahmin replied, "My dear sir, even if you appear there as a four-handed Vishnu deity, still none of these people will believe you." Only if you go there in this form of Gopal and speak the words from your beautiful face will your testimony be heard by all the people. Lord Krishna said, "I've never heard of a deity walking from one place to another." The Brahmin replied, "That is true. But how is it that you're speaking to me, although you're a deity?"
It's also clever.
"My dear Lord, you're not a statue, you're directly the son of Maharaj Nanda. Now, for the sake of the old Brahmin, you can do something you have never done before." Sri Gopalji then smiled and said, "My dear Brahmin, just listen to me. I shall walk behind you, and in this way, I shall go with you." Purport. The conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and the Brahman is proof that the Lord in his Archamurti, or form made of material elements, is not material. For those elements, although separated from the Lord, are also part of the Lord's energy. It's stated in the Bhagavad Gita, because the elements of the Lord's own energy, and because there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, the Lord can appear through any element, just as the sun can act through the sunshine and thus distribute heat and light. So Krishna, by his inconceivable power, can appear in his original spiritual form in any material element, including stone, wood, paint, gold, silver, and jewels. Because the material elements are all his energy, the Shastras warn, Arche Vishnu Shiladi Nakisha. One should never think of the Archamurti, the deity within the temple, as stone, wood, or any material element. Because of his advanced emotional service, the younger Brahmin knew that although the deity was Gopal, the deity of Gopal had appeared to be stone, he was not stone. He was the son of Nanda Maharaj, Rajendra Nandana himself. As such, the deity could act exactly as the Lord does in his original form as Krishna. Lord Krishna was talking to the young Brahmin just to test his knowledge about the Archa Vigraha. In other words, those who have understood the science of Krishna, Krishna's name, form, qualities, and so forth, can also talk with the deity. To an ordinary person, however, the deity will be appearing made of stone, wood, or some other material. In higher sense, since all material elements ultimately emanate from the Supreme, his devotee in any form without any difficulty. By the mercy of the Lord, the devotee knows perfectly well about the Lord's dealings. Indeed, he can talk face to face with the Lord. The Lord continued, "Do not try to see me around. As soon as you see me, I shall remain."
Prabhupada, morning walk in Vrindavan, walking, and suddenly devotees sometimes ask, Prabhupada also enlightened him. So suddenly one devotee said, "Prabhupada, this you say, all these trees, animals, this dust, this is different from other place dust." Yes, this is all Chinmay. This is all spiritual. Means, Prabhupada said, there is some difference between dust outside of Brajamandal or Vrindavan, then these are not ordinary. You can't understand. You know, this dust you see is not ordinary. He can fulfill your desire. Really? Yeah. That is up to him. This dust can, yes. The sadhu, sometimes this dust came, go to somebody's house, they want some Vrindavan, something masjid, they take this dust, they put on their head. Some can even put their face. Some roll on the ground, you see in Vrindavan, and going by paying obeisance, there are so many crores. Not ordinary. Okay.
The Lord,
In conversation book, still maybe there. That is, okay, this is famous.
the Lord continued, do not try to see me by turning around. As soon as you see me, I shall remain stationary in that very place. You will know that I'm walking behind you by the sound of my ankle bells. Cook 1 kilogram of rice daily and offer it. I shall eat that rice and follow behind you. The next day, the Brahmin begged permission from Gopal and started for his country. Gopal followed him step by step.
Question. Okay.
Here in the purport, Prabhupada is writing that the Lord can come in front of the devotee in any form, through any form. So, can a devotee see Lord in anything, or particularly in an installed deity? Is there something specific in an installed deity? Installed deity, or
They do pran pratishtha, this, that, yeah. So,
only in that, only he can see, or in anything.
So can devotee see Krishna everywhere, or only he can see him in the detail?
it depends on devotee and the Lord, what sort of. So simply Tilok Mala doesn't make devotee. What quality of devotee, his faith. Lord also reciprocal. Yeah.
In dream, one see.
This is not experimental verification. Lord has got a sweet will. He can appear from anywhere. He can come from the Brahma's nose, a small boar, hog, and suddenly becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. Come as a small fish, becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. It's revealing. These things are revelation.
But installed deity are
Coming from the pillar, he asked his father, where do you get power? Where do you get, I say, he is here in front of, yes. Because he knows, he has from faith. The Lord reveals things. I cannot copy and expect the same, because Lord knows how much faith you have. Is that clear? Yes, you.
Yeah, the Lord comes in one's dream.
Just like what he did, you can do, you may come, may not come. I told in the morning, school, that boy, he said, Dinabandhu, other came, they go, Lord knows, they are not simple at heart. But doubt, he won't come.
old deities are
Naham prakasha sarvasya. I don't reveal myself to anybody and everybody. He said, Je Jathamabra, according to one surrender, one is complete surrender, Tahar Prarthana Sri Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar respond to his prayer. So one is a liberated soul, 24 hours, everything engaged in Krishna. He is in the spiritual plane. Understand? And then Maya cannot touch him. Others, Maya is touching. It doesn't matter in front of the deity, still, because he may be thinking something else. Make sense? Everybody's faith is not equal.
Hope.
Huh?
It is a hope for it.
You have hope against hope.
Does it mean anything or hope?
We have to qualify. Prabhupada said, deserve and then desire. No, deserve, I mean desiring. Any Tom, Dick, Harry can desire so many things. But according to your devotion, Krishna can reveal, not experimental verification. That is science. He is not a machine. He has got a feeling. Nitto nityanam chetanas chetananam. He is conscious. So, he gives buddhi yoga to somebody and may not give. Somebody with priti purvakam, with love and devotion, he says. When one is millionaire, he gave 1,000 rupees. and one is Prabhupada, he is getting all this money. There is some difference. Krishna knows. Vitta Sattva. He is mechanically doing, expecting. Duryodhana gives so much thing to Chappanna Bhog, all ladies, queens and all. They are cooking, princesses, all. Krishna did not go because he is very proud. Dhamma. Vidura, they took everything and his wife. They cannot maintain themselves, hand to mouth. Krishna went. They cannot, but they are, with all their love and affection, overwhelmed, they don't know how to receive Krishna. They are so joyful, forgetting. Instead of finding nothing, found suddenly banana is a famous story. And taking the banana and enthusiastically, and suddenly found Krishna is smiling like that. So there's something wrong. Suddenly found they are taking the banana out, giving the peel to Krishna. Krishna is eating and throwing the banana. He is so much in ecstasy for God. So that is like a bhavagrahi janatana. Krishna takes only his mood. Not Krishna, is he wanting anything? Doesn't require it. You see his love for him. Same thing to Sudama. You know, Sudama does not want anything. His wife sent because of so much poverty. But Krishna is so pleased with him. He gave him what his wife wants, and he went there, sir, I didn't want it. No, he using Krishna's service and taking some. Same thing Ambarish Maharaj. Maybe king, maybe beautiful lady is cooking, and he is very proud, sannyasi. Usually sannyasi are proud. Brahmacharya is proud, think of others, hey, Maya! And what happened to them? So anybody can be a top Vaishnava. He may be big. If he is Grihastha, even top Vaishnava, he is greater than a sannyasi. Sannyasi Varnashram Dharma top. Real Bhakta is not proud. So Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to crush the pride of Tyagi, Brahmachari, sannyasi, he took the role as a sannyasi, Guru God, took the role of a questioner, student, to Ramananda, who is a Sudra, who is a politician, associated with money, women and all these things. But he put him in the position of he is asking his own answer. Though he understands. You see, why? To crush this, to teach us. Why he said, I am fool. Guru told me, is he fool? No. He is teaching us, you should remain a fool to your Guru. Because he is in a different, higher platform. Oh, you may be thinking he is eating, sleeping. Guru Maharaj, but actually treating them. He can understand. He can understand. Because he has got experience spiritual. You cannot overnight become a humble, at the same time big position, big. It's difficult. He is irresistible. Yes or no? Money, scripture is saying. Money, position, beauty, power, one gets infatuated. Unless he is become humbled by God. Yes? Okay. It applies to everybody. And one who is real Vaishnava, he is humble, not show business. Okay. Any other? This is looking at the other direction. Something else. Mumbling. What is that moaning?
While Gopal followed the young Brahmin, the tinkly sound of his ankle bells could be heard. The Brahmin became very pleased, and he cooked first-class rice for Gopal to eat. The young Brahmin walked and walked in this way until he eventually arrived in his own country. When he neared his own village, he began to think as follows. I have now come to my village, and I shall go to my home and tell all the people that the witness has arrived.
Some devotee visited Sakshi Gopal and go to Jagannath Puri, not very far. Panda giving you a hard time. I'm saying quite a distance. Panda find out.
From the road.
From the road. He went to the road. Where is this guy? The leader. Not so much. Give hard time.
Because they have kept fixed amount.
Yes. Good.
Open the door a little bit, as you can see, because Gopal, it is straight in front.
You went inside? They allowed?
No.
No, Sahib?
From distance when they open,
from far. You can see from far. You can see
Outside.
very.
Alarnat also. Hmm?
Western side.
Alarnat 10-20 kilometers, no?
And my
Okay.
God is wanting money from all sides.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
The Brahmin then began to think that if the people didn't directly see the Gopal deity, they would not believe that he had arrived. But even if Gopal stays here, he thought, there's still nothing to fear. Thinking this, the Brahmin turned to look back, and he saw Gopal, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was standing there, smiling. The Lord told the Brahmin, now you can go home. I shall stay here, and I shall not leave.
To go to his mind.
Don't speculate. Just listen what it is, as it is.
Directly.
The young Brahmin then went to the town and informed all the people about Gopal's arrival. Hearing this, the people were struck with wonder.
Naturally, they did not expect. You expect? They will come. Okay.
Who fully believe.
You believe?
Who fully believe. I wonder who is fully believe.
Yeah. He fully believes and he wonders who he believes fully.
Yeah, I wonder who is fully believe.
Okay. Carry.
Word by word.
All the townspeople went to see the witness Gopal. And when they saw the Lord actually standing there, they all offered the respectful obeisances. When the people arrived, they were very pleased to see the beauty of Gopal. And when they heard that he had actually walked there, they were all surprised. Then the elderly Brahmin, being very pleased, came forward and immediately fell like a stick in front of Gopal.
Many people say, we want to see now. That happened before, who knows what is it. Many say like that. Why this time is not happening? People say, we want to see. Okay.
Thus, in the presence of all the townspeople, Lord Gopal bore witness that the elderly Brahmin had offered his daughter in charity to the young Brahmin. After the marriage ceremony was performed, the Lord informed both Brahmins, you two Brahmins are my eternal servants, birth after birth.
Professor, they are pure devotees, not only Brahmin.
Purport. Like these two Brahmins of Vidyanagar, there are many devotees who are eternal servants of the Lord. They are specifically known as Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect. Although the Nitya Siddhas appear in the material world and seem to be common members of the world, they never forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead in any condition. This is the symptom of a Nitya Siddha. There are two kinds of living entities, Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha. The Nitya Siddha never forgets his relationship with the Supreme Lord, whereas the Nitya Baddha is always conditioned, even before the creation. He always forgets his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, the Lord informs the two Brahmanas that they are his servants, birth after birth. The phrase birth after birth refers to the material world, because in the spiritual world there is no birth,
no
death, no old age, and no disease. By the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Nitya Siddha remains within this material world like an ordinary man. But the only business of the Nitya Siddha is to broadcast the glories of the Lord. This incident appears to be an ordinary story about a marriage transaction involving two ordinary people. However, Krishna accepted the two Brahmins as his eternal servants. Both Brahmins took much trouble in these negotiations, just like mundane people, yet they were acting as eternal servants of the Lord. All Nitya Siddhas within this material world may appear to toil like ordinary men, but they never forget their position as servants of the Lord. And
You see their faces
later.
when they saw it.
Another point, the elderly Brahmin belonged to an aristocratic family and was learned and wealthy. The young Brahmin belonged to an ordinary family and was uneducated. But these mundane qualifications do not concern a Nityasiddha engaged in the service of the Lord. We have to accept the fact that the Nityasiddhas are completely distinct from the Nityavadas, who are ordinary human beings. Srila Narottam Das Thakur confirms this statement. Gaurangera Sangigane Nityasiddha Garimane Sejaya Bhajendra Sudava Shri Gaura Mandala Bhume Deva Chintamani Taraya Braja Bhume Vas. One who accepts the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nityasiddhas is certain to be elevated to the spiritual kingdom to become an associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should also know that Gauda Mandala Bhumi, those places in Bengal where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed, are equal to Brajabhumi or Vrindavan. There is no difference between the inhabitants of Vrindavan and those of Gauda Mandala Bhumi or Sri Dham Mayapur. The Lord continued, I have become very much pleased by the truthfulness of you both. Now you can ask for a benediction. Thus, with great pleasure, the two Brahmins begged for a benediction. The Brahmin said, please remain here so that all the people all over the world will know how merciful you are to your servants. Lord Gopal stayed and the two Brahmins engaged in his service. After hearing of the incident, many people from different countries began to come to see Gopal.
Still coming. So
this is the place where Brahma remains.
Eventually, the king of the country heard this wonderful story, and he also came to see Gopal, and thus became very satisfied. The king constructed a nice temple, and regular service was executed. Gopal became very famous under the name of Sakshi Gopal, the witness Gopal. Thus, Sakshi Gopal stayed in Vidyanagar and accepted service for a very long time.
still there is Vidyanagar in Andhra, one place.
The city of Vidyanagar is situated in Trilangadesh, South India, on the bank of the river Godavari. The place where the Godavari flows into the Bay of Bengal is called Kuttadesh.
What is it?
Kuttadesh.
Kota Desh. Kota. Kotakal. Kotakal. We go to Kotakal. Kota. Kota means where? Sometime in Bengal. Kota. Kota. Kutare, Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, বিপুল কুতারে এসে বলে আমাদের নাম কি এসের থেকে আসছে হ্যাঁ ওই যে বাবাজি গঙ্গার ধারে হ্যাঁ বলে কুতারে কুতারে বলে কোথায় রে কোটে রে এই দেখ কোটে রে Where? Okay. Okay.
Continue. The Orisha kingdom was very powerful. And how is this T pronounced?
This Ta.
Ta. Kota. Kota
Kotak.
was the capital of Orisha.
Kotak. Kotak. Okay.
It was known then as Vidyanagar. Formerly, the city was situated in the southern side of the river Godavari. At the time, King Purushottam Dev managed a control over Odisha and appoint government. The present city of Vidyanagar is on the southeast side of the river, only 20 to 25 miles from Raja Mahendri.
Mahendri.
During the,
Raj Mahendri. Rajmandri.
Previously Raja Mahendra.
Raja
Yeah,
Mahendri.
Maybe there's some king under some, huh? Raja Mahendra. Pratap. Acha, okay.
During the time of Maharaj Pratap Parudra, Sri Ramananda Rai was the governor there. Vijayanagar is not identical with Vidyanagar. Later there was a fight and this country was conquered by King Purushottam Dev of Odisha. The king was victorious over the king of Vidyanagar and he took possession of his throne, the Manikya Simhasan, which was bedecked with many jewels. King Purushottam Dev was a great devotee and was advanced in the civilization of the Aryans. He begged at the lotus feet of Gopal, "Please come to my kingdom." When the king begged him to come to his kingdom, Gopal, who was already obliged for his devotional service, accepted his prayer. Thus the king took the Gopal deity and went back to Katak.
Katak.
Katak. Katak.
Some people cannot say tea. They say tea. To and to. They do difference. Indian can tell. Others cannot. The French people cannot tell to. They say to. Italian. Come talebo. Say come ta. Come talebo. Whatever.
Okay.
Right.
After winning the Manikya throne, King Purushottam Dev took it to Jagannath Puri and presented it to Lord Jagannath.
His quarrel.
In the meantime, he also established regular worship of the Gopal deity at
Jagannath
Katak.
Mandir.
Katak. When the Gopal deity was installed at Katak, the queen of Purushottam Dev went to see him and with great devotion presented various kinds of ornaments. The queen had a very valuable pearl which she wore on her nose, and she wished to give it to Gopal. She then began to think as follows: if there were a hole in the deity's nose, I could transfer the pearl to him. Considering this, the queen offered her obeisances to Gopal and returned to her palace. The night she dreamed that Gopal appeared and began to speak to her as follows. During my childhood, my mother made a hole in my nose and within great endeavor set a pearl there. That very hole is still there and you can use it to set the pearl you desire to give me. After dreaming this, the queen explained it to her husband, the king. Both the king and the queen went to the temple with the pearl. Seeing the hole in the nose of the deity, they set the pearl there and being very pleased, held a great festival. Since then, Gopal has been situated in the city of Katak. Kutak. Right here.
Something wrong. It's called katak. Just you say cut, like that. Beauty put, but beauty put, but. Something like that. H-U-T, hut.
Katak.
Mutt, M-U-T-T, mutt. In South India say mott, mutt.
And he has been known ever since as Sakshi Gopal. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the narration of Gopal's activities. Both he and his personal devotees became very pleased. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting before the Gopal deity, all the devotees saw him and the deity as being the same form. They were both of the same complexion and both had gigantic bodies. Both wore saffron cloth and both were very grey. The devotees saw that both Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gopal were brilliantly effulgent and had eyes like lotuses. They were both absorbed in ecstasy, and both their faces resembled full moons. When Nityananda saw the Gopal deity and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that way, he began to exchange remarks with the devotees, all of whom were smiling. Thus, with great pleasure, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that night in the temple. After seeing the Mangal Arti ceremony in the morning, he started on his journey. In his book Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has very vividly described the places visited by the Lord on the way to Bhuvaneshwar. In his book Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakand, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has very nicely described the Lord's journey on the route to Cuttack. On that journey, the Lord visited a place known as Balihasta or Chati. He then visited the city of Bhuvaneshwar, where Lord Shiva's temple is located. The temple of Bhuvaneshwar is situated about 5 to 6 miles from Chati. The temple of Lord Shiva is mentioned in the Skanda Purana in the narration about the Lord's garden and the one mango tree. A king named Kasiraj wanted to fight with Lord Krishna and consequently took shelter of Lord Shiva to acquire the power to fight the Lord. Being pleased with his worship, Lord Shiva helped him fight Krishna. Lord Shiva's name is Asutosh, which indicates that he is very easily satisfied when one worships him regardless of the purpose. And he gives the devotee whatever benediction the devotee wants. Therefore, people are generally very fond of worshipping Lord Shiva. Thus, Kasiraj was helped by Lord Shiva, but in the fight with Lord Krishna, he was not only defeated but killed. In this way, the weapon known as Pashupat Ashtra was baffled, and Krishna set fire to the city of Kashi. Later, Lord Shiva became conscious of his mistake in helping Kasiraj, and he begged Lord Krishna's forgiveness. As a benediction from Lord Krishna, he received a place known as Ekamra Kanana. Later, the kings of the Keshari dynasty established their capital there. And for many hundreds of years, they reigned over the state of Odisha. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Kamalapur, he took his bath in the Barginadi river and left his sannyas staff in the hands of Lord Nityananda. Purport. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said that when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Bhuvaneshwar, he visited the temple of Lord Shiva, known as Gupta Kashi, the concealed Varanasi. Lord Shiva established this as a place of pilgrimage by bringing water from all holy places and creating the lake known as
Bindu Sarovar.
Bindu Sarovar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his bath in this lake, feeling a great regard for Lord Shiva. From the spiritual point of view, people still go to take bath in this lake. Actually, by taking a bath there, one becomes very healthy, even from the material viewpoint. Taking a bath and drinking the water of this lake can cure any disease of the stomach.
Also today?
Even today.
Yes, yes.
Regular bathing certainly cures.
Took bath there this time. Every time I go to.
Regular bathing certainly cures indigestion. The river Bargi or Bargi Nadi came to be known as the Dandabanga Nadi. After Lord Chaitanya bathed in its waters, it's situated 6 miles north of Jagannath Puri. The reason for the change in names is given as follows.
Almost 2 minutes.
When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the temple of Lord Shiva known as Kapoteshwar, Nityananda Prabhu, who was helping his sannyas staff in custody, keeping his sannyas staff in custody, broke the staff in 3 parts and threw it into the river Bhargi Nadi. Later this river became known as Dandabanga Nadi. The mystery of the sannyas danda of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been explained by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the order of sannyas from a Mayavadi sannyasi. The Mayavadi sannyasis generally carry 1 staff, or danda. Taking advantage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's absence, Srila Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff into 3 parts and threw it into the river, later known as Dandabanga Nadi.
He did it in anger, yeah.
Here, not anger.
Now they will say.
You tell.
In the sannyas order, there are 4 divisions: Kutichak, Bahudak, Hamsa, and Paramahamsa. Only when the sannyasi remains on the Kutichak and Bahudak platforms can he carry a staff. However, when one is elevated to the status of a Hamsa or Paramahamsa, after touring and preaching the bhakti cult, he must give up the sannyas staff. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is therefore said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. 2 personalities, Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, are combined in the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, considering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be an extraordinary person, Lord Nityananda did not wait for the Paramahamsa stage. He reasoned that the Supreme Personality of God is automatically on the Paramahamsa stage. Therefore, he does not need to carry the sannyas danda. This is the reason Sri Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff into 3 pieces and threw it into the water. After seeing the temple of Jagannath from a distant place, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately became ecstatic. After offering obeisances to the temple, he began to dance in the ecstasies of love of God. Purport. The word Deula refers to the temple where the Supreme Personality of God is situated. The present temple of Jagannath Puri was constructed by King Anangabhima. Historians say that this temple must have been constructed at least 2,000 years ago. During the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the small buildings surrounding the original temple had not been constructed, nor was the high platform in front of the temple present during the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the devotees became ecstatic in the association of Lord Chaitanya, and thus absorbed in love of God, they were dancing and singing while going along the main road. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed, cried, danced, and made many ecstatic vibrations and sounds. Although the temple was only 6 miles away from him, to him the distance seemed thousands of miles. Purport. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, he considered one moment to last as long as 12 years.
Verse?
After seeing the Jagannath temple from a distant place, the Lord became so ecstatic that he considered the 6-mile path many thousands of miles long. Thus walking and walking, the Lord eventually arrived at a place known as Atharanala. Arriving there, he expressed his external consciousness, speaking to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. At the entrance of the Jagannath Puri is a bridge with 18 arcs, called Atharanala. Athara means 18. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu...
Can I leave because I have to give class tomorrow?
You can all the classes.
Huh? Yeah. Tomorrow till?
So tomorrow we have, Guru Maharaj will be giving Bengali class in Panchakapura State Extension, 8 o'clock. Please try to gather.